Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end.
Welcome back, one and all. We're here for the SFR Reserve Championship on F1 2019. We've moved up north from Mexico and we're ready to race in the US at the Circuit of the Americas. So we've got a dry quali session and dry race. We're going to get going after doing a medium run at the start of the session. We're going to get ready to blast around the 5.513 kilometre circuit with 2 runs on the soft climb on tyres. You see the first lap here going to put us onto provisional pole, dipping into the 1 minute 31s. But then we did a final lap in the session. So as we cross the line, we're only going to have 17 seconds left in the session. So this is the last run we can possibly do. Pretty much one of the last cars to be setting their laps on the circuit. And see, we're already 2 tenths up now as we go down towards turn 12, towards the best overtaking spot for the Grand Prix. And as we come into the final couple of corners, around turn 19 towards turn 20, the sunlight streaming off the circuit, and we're going to be making just over 2 tenths gain on our time to a 1:31.7, which gives us our second pole in 2 races within league racing. So waiting for that first pole position and 2 come at once. So can we convert that into the race win? See, we're 4 tenths clear at the top. So managed to get the perfect lap in together as we come to the end of the formation lap, ready to get racing. Can we get a good race start as the lights are here now? We have 3, we have 4, we have 5. And it's lights out and away we go for the US Grand Prix. See, we've not been a great start. Wheels been already pushed off to the right side. The Renault squeezing us now on towards the outside. We try and find a way round the outside as the Williams goes up the inside of the pair of us. He gets compromised as he loses the rear end under traction. Now we're going to try and find a way into turn number 3 and 4, but not quite at the tuck in behind as we work our way into the S's now. And as we carry on towards lap 1, going around turn number 11, of course, the hairpin just before the main back straight, up into overtake now, and we're right on the back of the Williams in the slipstream. He breaks the toe very aggressively, starting to ditch the toe from the Renault in front, and we're going to be looking to maybe try and make an overtake on the Williams car. We're going to be trying to send it down the inside into turn number 12, trying to go late to the race as possible as we can, just about avoid the Renault in front, and he's going to try and do the switch back on us now. Is the Williams, and going into the corner, he hits us from the rear, so contact between the 2 of us, and he pushes me off and gets the position from pushing me off there. And so we've now got the Ferrari behind attacking us for the final podium spot, and we just about keep ahead under traction from him, so we have to slot in behind now as we move on to lap 2. We're still right behind the front, so have good pace at the start of this race. We fly through the first sector now, still keeping within touching distance, not managed to bolt off into, well, it's a bit cloudy at the moment, so I wouldn't quite say the sunset, but it's sunset soon, yes. But you see now the Williams right on the back of the Renault, and he's challenging down into turn number 12. Can he find a way past on the inside? Not quite, has to tuck him behind. That's going to compromise him now and put him slightly in the back foot, and we've managed to close the gap significantly. As we move into turn number 13, we make a massive improvement, and he is all of a sudden now jumping all over the shop. So I wonder what witchcraft is this? Williams trying to find a way to improve their car speed, and we've been completely spooked, and we've gone off the road completely at turn number 15, and we're just about slot ahead of the Ferrari. But absolute witchcraft from the Williams. I don't know what was happening there, but so he's still ahead of us in P2 as things stand. But then again, it is straight back to Harry Potter-esque stuff from the Williams. And now he's got he's slowed down completely. Oh no, he hasn't. He's all of a sudden into the lead. He's inside the Renault. I don't know what is happening here. And the Renault is massively compromised from that as the Williams scoots through him. He's jumping all over the shop, and the Renault's lost his line completely. And now we're the ones on the back of the Renault, maybe trying to have a go here. As we can look into turn number 11, we'll be too far back to go, but we can try and set it up as the Renault goes in a bit too deep. Compromised again by the Williams, jumping all over this place. And he's still doing it. We're going to have DRS now. Williams breaks the toe aggressively again. We're up into overtake and now trying to find a way past in towards turn number 12. We have DRS, but so does he. Potentially looking for a move here. Look to the inside. We think better of it because the Williams, well, we don't actually know where he is. For all we know, he could be 4 corners clear. As we move now into the middle, sort of into the final sector now as we cross the point. And they're now going to be pretty much side by side. The Renault looking to have a go of sending to try and send it down the inside. And looks like he could be getting the move here. They're still side by side now. And as we run out of turn number 15, we'll be side by side. And Williams taking a very tight line. He's pushed the Renault off. A good measure. The Renault has to back out of it to avoid going even wider. We've managed to move up into P2. So right on the back of the Williams, who's still scooting about all over the shop. And now we're the ones who are going to have DRS, but the Williams jumps ahead massively, then comes straight back with DRS now, put it up into high and Rich Mix, and try and get a bit of a toe as well. He's going to sort of cover the inside. We're going to dart to the outside. Tries to close the door, and he goes way too deep into the corner. We tuck in ahead, and oh no, all of a sudden he's straight back. What is this? He's inside me now. Thought he went in deep. He's in third. He's in second. Don't know where he is, but we slot ahead on this occasion. And now we're the ones having the clear air ahead of us, despite the witchcraft from behind. We managed to push on, and it was lap 11 we came into the pit stop. A few incidents further back sort of gave us a big gap to the Mercedes car, you see, and others came in slow, a bit earlier than us, but a bit of a scrum coming to pit lane was a bit of a worry for me. Thought we could be getting a penalty for that, but just managed to slow down in time despite the spin. And now coming out back onto the track, we managed just to scoot ahead of the Haas and just about get ahead of him and the Ferrari behind. And now, apart from a virtual safety car on lap 14, it was just getting a head down and making sure we had good pace and kept it clean. Because I knew from quali that I was actually all right at this track, to be fair. And we just put the laps in, kept it nice and consistent, and just managed the gap behind, because people were pitting and maybe a two-stop. As we come onto the final lap now of the race, the gap behind 11 seconds now. We managed to increase it quite a bit, giving everything on this lap to try and make it our fastest lap of the race, and maybe try and even dip into the 35s. Currently half a second up as we come through the final couple of corners. It's going to be our first win in league racing on F1 2019. We come around the final corner to win the USA Grand Prix in the SFR Reserve League, and it's our first P1 in league racing. And you see, we come onto the podium to pick up what was apart from the first couple of laps, we led pretty much most of the race, apart from when a couple of medium runners were ahead of us after our pit stop. But fantastic stuff. That should help me in the SFR Reserve Championship table. But first win, very, very happy indeed with how it went. Had fantastic pace throughout the race, and very happy with that result. But of course, still with 2 more rounds left in this reserve table, we go to Brazil next, and then Abu Dhabi for the finale. But of course, we have RLH next Wednesday, so look forward to that.